Hello, this is wmpyr. Had a very stressful week. I'm trying to recover. It's now the weekend and everything. When you're having a stressful time, you got to have some fun, right? So this is me trying to have some fun. This is a Transformers Micro Changers Combiners Predaking. So basically, you get four micro changers over here. You see four dudes. Each one of these, you can take them apart and they transform into their beast mode. All right, so you have Razor Claw, Torox, Headlock, and Dive Bomb. And like I said, each one of them go into beast mode. And then you can combine all four of them together to form the massive Predaking that you see right here. Right here, one thing quick to note, it says ages 6 to 12. You know what? Personally, I don't know even a 12-year-old around here that could build this thing. I thought it was quite challenging for me. And I'm a pretty experienced Lego builder guy. And like I said, I felt it was pretty challenging for me. It was a lot of fun. Building this thing was an experience in itself. I mean, one of the things I had to do was get one of the minifigures and pull off his arms. And that's actually part of the building process. Let me just take you to Mr. Predaking right here, as you can see right there. Yeah, that's him right there in all his glory. If you can see this claw part right here, these claws, I had to shove, the part of the building process is you shove those into legs. This is a micro figure's legs right there. So that's some very interesting stuff. So just building this guy is an experience in itself. It was very enjoyable, quite challenging, but not so hard to the point that it's going to be too frustrating, and not so difficult to the point that it would take hours and hours and hours to build this guy. Actually, it didn't take that much time at all. It was fun. It was a lot of fun. Highly recommend it. It works for me because I was an 80s kid, and I remember seeing Predaking in the stores and just drooling at Predaking, going, wow, I wish I could afford this guy. Just getting one of the Predaking, one of the four, was too expensive, and then to try to get all of them to combine this thing, it was never going to happen for me. So I passed up on Predaking, but I remember I would drool at the guy, and at the time it was a Headmasters. Headmasters were out, so I was also looking at the Headmasters. So it brings back a lot of those kinds of memories for me, so it's very nostalgic. And this toy to me is one of those that it requires imagination, because it's not something that you transform and then you combine together. This is actually, you have to take apart and build back together again. So in your mind, you have to pretend that it is a transformer in a sense. So it requires imagination. Very cool. I can't even believe that they make toys like this right now. So it's awesome. I think it's, when I was a kid, if I couldn't afford a Predaking, I would have probably made a Predaking with Legos and done something like this. It probably would have been a lot bigger, actually, but I would have imagined. And I remember doing that with Gundam, and actually maybe even some He-Man and Muscle, Kinnikuman type stuff. If you guys are from the 80s, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So yeah, that's what I did. For a poor kid, you just get toys, and you just get Legos, and then you make your own toys, the stuff that's in right now, and then you imagine that's what it is. So that's what I did, and this is kind of along those lines. I actually dropped this guy like 4 or 5 times right now trying to set this up, put him up here, and he's actually stayed pretty well. The only thing that fell apart were the wings. Let's see if I could kind of, yeah, these wings that you can kind of see right there, and I guess that's supposed to be the eagle guy, whose name is Dive Bomb. Dive Bomb's helmet is up here, the black one right there, and it's just like a regular Kreo Transformers helmet, so it's not that exciting. But the other dudes have all these the animal helmets that you can see right here. So they're all the same. They're just different colors. All right. So the yellow one is the lion head. I think the red one was it the bull? Yeah, it was the bull. No, I'm sorry, it was the rhinoceros, and then the red one was the bull. All right, so the orange one, I'm sorry, is the rhinoceros, and the red one is the bull, and the yellow one, of course, is the lion. So anyway, they have other ones. They have Superion, and they have Bruticus, and they have Devastator. And if you're familiar with all the Transformers verse, Transformers universe, you know each one of those guys. The most famous is Devastator, I'm sure. The Devastator, the most famous, he's built up of construction vehicles. And Superion is basically built up of all these airplanes. And Bruticus is built up of military vehicles, including a helicopter and maybe a jet. I don't even remember. But Bruticus is made up of, it's all military vehicles. And in this one over here, he's made up of animals. And the two that really interested me the most out of all these different gestalts is Bruticus and this guy right here. And I actually went with Predaking just because I felt that Predaking had more unique pieces to him. I could be wrong, but just looking at it from the box and just a quick glance, I felt like he had more unique pieces. Specifically, the helmets, the animal helmets. So that was a huge plus for me, and I really liked that. The only one negative thing that I can say about this set is there's only one. Other than that, it took me back nostalgia-wise, and the building was challenging. Look at the combined form. I am very satisfied with this. He was actually a little bit more sturdier than he looks, which was a plus. But the one negative thing was, if you can see this thing right here, for the lion's, what is that called? The mane, the surrounding flower looking thing. I don't know what it's called, but I think it's just the mane. That the hair piece on the lion, all it is a flimsy cloth. All right, so it's kind of like one of those Lego capes that you see. It's not plastic. So that was the only disappointment for me. Also, because if you look at the box right here, it looks like it's hard plastic. It's the red stuff around the lion's head right here. All right, so that is the only thing that was disappointing to me. But everything else, I really enjoyed it, and I do recommend it. So thank you for watching, and take care, folks.